There is big news from North Carolina with 90% of the vote in and Donald Trump maintaining a 4 percentage point lead, 50 to 46. Donald Trump projected as the winner of the Old North state as Mr. Trump's numbers continue to head northward in the Electoral College. Donald J. Trump now with 183 electoral votes to 131 projected electoral votes for Hillary Rodham Clinton. We continue on what is becoming a surprising and historic night as we continue to monitor these results. Let's welcome in from Newsmax New York, Bill Tucker, who joins us again now, and also from Newsmax Washington, pollster John Zogby. John, this news from North Carolina, another brick in the wall for Trump on his way to increasing his electoral tally.
It is indeed, and one of the states that I was closely watching. Trump winning North Carolina means that the African American vote did not come out in substantial numbers for Hillary Clinton, as it had prior to that, for Barack Obama, even in the slight loss by Obama. Hillary underperformed clearly in North Carolina.
1-877-Newsmax, 1-877-639-7629 for you to get in on the conversation. But let's get Bill back in this thing. Bill, to watch this tonight, it's as if right now, and we know there's still some swing states there, but this pickup of North Carolina, to use Trumpian English, is huge.
Oh, it is indeed huge. I mean, this is making for really entertaining watching. For anybody who's a political wonk who's looking at this whole thing, it is a reality show on steroids. Beginning of the evening, nobody would have said it looked remotely like this. We were ready to hand it over based on exit polling and based on early polling to Mrs. Clinton, and that is just not the case. And it is fascinating to look like. I can't tell right now. It looks like maybe Michigan and Wisconsin might be going Trump's way. It was a very close look the last time I checked. I don't know if anybody's officially called it yet. But if you add those in with North Carolina and this slim lead that he's got down in Florida, there's a bombshell building in the East. We'll see what it does to the West.
And John Zogby, as you've monitored these numbers, what do you see potentially? Is there a big pothole awaiting Trump somewhere in these states that have yet to be decided?
No pothole. No, I'm adding Florida into the Trump column. I mean, it's over 100,000 votes with 99% of the votes in. So I get Trump up to 257. Now, victory in Michigan, where he's been leading all night, victory in Michigan, and where Hillary Clinton underperformed in Wayne County and in Detroit, I mean, which is really very significant. Victory in Michigan puts Trump over the top, but even the fact, as Bill just pointed out, Trump is very competitive in Wisconsin as well. I think he probably wins Arizona. I'm still not sure we're going to know who won the presidency by bedtime tonight, but it's close.
We have got big news coming in right now, as I understand it. And John Zogby, you previewed this a second ago, saying Florida belongs in the Trump column. Now the Associated Press is projecting Donald Trump the winner of the Sunshine State. And to the point you were making earlier, Bill, about Wisconsin, if we can base this, and there it is, officially Donald Trump prevailing in the Sunshine State, but now get a load of this up in the Badger State. We heard from the dominant media culture how Russ Feingold was going back to the Senate after 6 years out. Wrong. Yeah. Media outlets report Ron Johnson prevails in that Senate seat. So Ron Johnson came from behind to win. With that, now, John, as a pollster, take us through this. Granted, every race can be different. But with Ron Johnson pulling out this Senate seat, what does that portend for the presidential race in Wisconsin?
It portends that Wisconsin is a hell of a lot more competitive than the pre-election polls suggested. that it is. The top of the ticket is turning out to have been very weak. Look, I've made this point. In the exit polls nationwide, Barack Obama has a 54% job approval rating among those who voted nationally, and Hillary Clinton looks like she's polling about 46% nationally. She has underperformed, and I think that Hillary Clinton was the issue tonight in a number of these states.
And again, just in case you're joining us, because the news is so huge, Florida now in the Trump column. Donald Trump apparently pulling off what all the media outlets said was doubtful. It looks like he may roll the table. You know, Bill Tucker, there you are in New York, and we take a look at our friends at other cable cousins and the alphabet networks, and the prevailing mood and what we've read from WikiLeaks, the way in which they absolutely loathe Donald Trump. It'll be interesting to see if our friends at other television outlets will be eating the proverbial crow as the evening goes into the morning hours.
Well, you know, it's really interesting, JD, just to that point. I think that the networks, because they've been so unabashed in their coverage and their support of Hillary Clinton, have actually shamed a lot of people into not admitting that they were going to vote for Donald Trump, which made the polls unreliable. I had that feeling going along, but I think we're beginning to see that borne out, and I'd love to hear John's thoughts on that. And one quick thing, Nate Silver, a little earlier in the evening, had tweeted, if in fact they give Trump Florida, the odds of Mrs. Clinton are cratering in chances of winning the election. So I'm sure Mr. Silver is back with his calculator trying to figure out what comes next.
And that brings us to Brother Zogby again. John, 30 seconds to the point Bill was making, the media's disdain for Donald Trump.
I think it came down from the top of the line in all of the networks. Stop this guy. And frankly, had they just been honest and issued a disclaimer before their coverage, we are against Donald Trump and so is out in the field reporting, I think it would have been a hell of a lot more honest than it really was.
And what does it say? Well, it gives us the chance again to point out that we're not the media, we're Newsmax TV. We're not part of that corporate media. We're glad you're watching us. John, thanks very much for your time. Bill, as always, and you at home, a chance for you to weigh in at 1-877-NEWSMAX, and also tell us who you voted for by going to newsmaxpolls.com.